A very warm welcome to eRacing GP. We are in, believe it or not, season 3 of eRacing GP and round 4 of 6 races for this season. Alex Young is the brainchild of this sim-based competition. And we're about to go into the gold class competitors, and they're going around the Hockenheimring circuit in Germany. Alex, we are halfway through season 3, and the usual names are up at the top of the pile. Yeah. The likes of Aleef Hamilton, the likes of Nakhib, Aslan, Miko Nassi, of course. How do you break into that kind of upper stratosphere in e-racing?
Well, you can see, I mean, we've had in our different categories, like from copper to bronze and silver, that the standard is just getting better and better as you go through each. Now we're in gold, and these are a lot of drivers whose education is more complete. You know, they know how to play the instrument really well. They know what they're doing. It's not just about driving on the sim. It's also knowing how to do the racecraft, not getting involved in accidents, tire management, all these sort of things. So when you're in gold, your education really is complete by that stage. And that's why you see the difference. They don't make mistakes. They race hard but fair, because as long as the stewarding is good, and here at ERGP we try and make sure the stewarding is good. The drivers know where the line is, and they try to stay the right side of it. So the professionalism, like in any sport, it's small details. You notice that they're better with the small details, and that's what makes a difference. It
has been a really, really competitive season 1 and season 2. Last season was decided on the last corner of the last race of the championship, and the two top drivers were level on points. It really has been close. What do we mean by eRacing GP? Well, let's show you a little few highlights. We've had 3 rounds already. We put together a little video of the best of the highlights from round 3. The red lights go out. Aleef is off to a slow start. Nassi goes past him. Nakiv, Kalen Chin, all go past him. Aleef Hamilton has a nightmare.
Ooh, very poor start indeed. Now they have to be careful here. Everyone is very aware of the tyres, and everyone is on the soft compound tyre.
13 minutes still to race. It's Miko Nassi from Muhammad Nakhib and Aleef Hamilton. Singapore, Malaysia, Singapore. The youngster Kalen Chin has got Muhammad Tasbi behind him. Yevan David from Sri Lanka. Up at the front, Nassi leads, but he's got Nakhib trying to go around the outside, and Nakhib uses the slipstream and takes the lead for the very first time. Nassi currently in P2. But as they go through the bus stop, both take that at high speed, Alex Young. Nakhib leads.
Oh, goes down the inside. Oh, that was close. Miko leaves him just a little enough space there. Gets a better drive. Oh, he's had contact. Oh, has he punctured Miko Nassi? Miko Nassi now. No, that's it. Yeah, he's given him a puncher.
Miko Nassi slides out. So as they come into the final stages of this race, will Aleef Hamilton make the move? A back marker to complicate matters. Also, Aleef backs off. He decides to let Nakhib Aslan spin away from him, take the points on offer. So says the experienced campaigner Aleef Hamilton. Nakhib Aslan takes the victory. Nakhib will pick up 25 points. Aleef Hamilton will pick up 20 for second. Once we get onto the grid and we get all the drivers, I think what we might do is we might go on board with Aleef Hamilton just to see what kind of a start that he gets. He's a long way back. Miko Nassi is on pole position. We're also on board there with Kalen Chin. There's a big bunching up in the middle. Aleef avoids it all, but Miko Nassi has got off to a flyer. Aleef gets himself through into P15, goes through on the inside as well, but while he's struggling to make it through, look at that, Kalen Chin. How's Kalen done? Kalen's got himself up into P5. Miko Nassi, wow, Alex, this lead is now nearly 3.5, 4 seconds.
But wow, they're all on this rev limiter right now. Tasbi's also getting the tow from his brother. Okay, Nakhib looks to the outside. What a move! Round the outside. Tasbi did not make it easy for the Malaysian, and somehow makes it through.
Look at that, Aleef has got himself into P3 temporarily, but has he got the right side of the track? Yevan David. Yeah, Aleef pulls himself up into P3. Very, very comfortably. Miko Nassi gets a recovery victory in race number 2 and will pick up maximum points. He'll pick up 15 for the win, plus 2 for the fastest lap at the moment at a 1:27.3. Aleef Hamilton comes home in P3, Kalen Chin 2, Aleef Hamilton P3, and Muhammad Nakhib, a frustrating P4 for him. So Miko Nassi recovering in race number 2 to become second in the overall championship standings behind the perennial winner, the winner of the first 2 series of the Global Edition, Muhammad Aleef Hamilton from Singapore. Nakhib Aslan had a desperately disappointing round number 1 at Road America, so he can afford no more errors. And the likes of Kalen Chin, Luis Mourinho, Yevon David and Jason Tay have all picked up points consistently, but without the volume of points that you get from being on the podiums that Aleef, Nassi and Nakhib are able to do. That's the overall championship. In the Nations Cup, which goes on, what we do is we accumulate the top 2 drivers or top 2 point scorers in each of the categories throughout the championship. At the moment, Philippines are leading that Nations Cup, 328 points, but I'm sure the likes of Aleef Hamilton and Jason Tay, who we'll hear from in just a moment, will hope to boost Singapore's total. Malaysia will be relying upon Nakhib Aslan to try to pick up some points. In the category that's just been raced, the silver category, Hong Kong did pick up some points, so they will improve their position. But Philippines, Singapore and Malaysia are the big 3 nations in eRacing GP. As for the teams, recognition to the likes of Sim Racing Pilipinas. They're very successful. Stratos Motorsports, Tedco X and Legion of Racers. They are the 4 big boys, but 7 Star Garage and Blue Steel Racing are trying to get amongst the big boys. If you can accumulate 100 points in a 6-race season, I think you're doing pretty well. And the likes of Ruffy Sports, Team Racing Line, Team Uncle and Oz NZ Sim Racing are all chasing that magical 3 points. So that's the standings as they are at the moment. The man we are looking on board with there, I think just going out, is Miko Nassi. Always fun to watch. Miko Nassi, Alex, though, he had a bit of dreadful luck in the last race when he was competing really well. He just had a little bit of contact, and the high damage that you put on these Indy cars meant that he got a puncture and had to hobble out of the race.
It was the smallest contact. It was just him and Aleef going side by side, and it just resulted in a puncture. Fortunately, we have full damage for Indy cars just to make sure everyone behaves, and they do behave, but they're also fragile, so any small contact. So Nassi was very unlucky, but I have to say he's just done a 19.5 in practice. On the weekly leaderboard there was no one in the 19, so that's incredibly fast. So you know he's going to fight back today. There's some really quick lap times out there. So yeah, it's going to be good, and it'll be interesting to see what sort of track this is as well.
Okay, let's see exactly what kind of a track it is. We've got a flying lap for us that was done on board by Singapore's Jason Tay. He's taking us around the Hockenheimring.
Hello everyone, my name is Jason, and today I'll be taking you for a lap around the Hockenheimring in my Indy car. So here we are on the start-finish straight, going to turn 1. Just a small lift of the throttle going to turn 1, and then hard on the gas after the apex, and then hard on the brakes at the 100 meter board for this corner. You want your car to be as straight as possible coming out of it, as it leads you onto a very long straight, so the exit of that corner is so important. If not, you'll lose plenty of time going through here. Lots of overtaking opportunities at the end of this straight, as it leads you to a hairpin, the slowest corner of the track. On the brakes, try not to lock your wheels like I did. Slowly get on the gas on the exit. Want to control wheel spin up there as well, as it leads you onto another long straight. On the brakes just after the 100 meter board. Roll the car in and get on the power and flat out through here. Let the downforce of the Indy car do the work. And there's a small lift of the throttle turning into the stadium section right now. Coops the car into the corners right here, flat out through here, and then let off the gas and let the car turn in into the apex. Gas a bit and then let the car turn in again, and then hard on the gas for the final corner onto the main straight, and that's the lap of the Hockenheimring.
Very nicely done as well, Jason, it must be said. It looks a very, very tough circuit, Alex. I mean, you've got that hairpin, which everyone knows about, but towards the latter stages, there's the sharp right, sharp left, plenty of places where mistakes can easily be made.
Especially in these IndyCars. These IndyCars, they just light up the rear wheels with wheel spin from the turbo, and the tyre wears are going to be really bad with the rear tyres. So drivers are going to really struggle to make the race last, so it's going to be tough.
I know you don't really like to focus on Alistair too much, but it looks like he's doing a pretty decent lap at the moment. Fourth fastest in practice.
Yeah, he was our co-commentator for the Copper class just now. He's doing a good job there. He's looking quite quick indeed. Let's see if he can do it in qualifying in the race.
Okay, let's move on to the Spotters Guide, which will show us the races that we really need to look out for. Aleef Hamilton in the familiar yellow and blue. Look out for him. Miko Nassi, we've seen him in the Team Stratos all green. Nakhib, Muhammad Nakhib, can't afford to let Aleef get away. We keep saying that, and Nakiv is good enough. He was the man who was denied only on account back of wins the title last time out in Season 2. Kalen Chin and Luis Moreno consistent. Yevon David, the young Sri Lankan based out of Singapore, and Jason Tay. We've just seen internationally the likes of Brody Steen, Inigo, Anton. Mika Hakimi's out there as well for Malaysia, as well as Alistair and Troy Iman. Any people who you think can really begin to cause a problem? I mean, Ryan Keith we just saw win in the silver category. Will his confidence be high enough to really test the big boys?
Well, the big three are going to be hard to beat, but Jason Tay can do it, Kalen Chin, and of course it's good to see Amir Hazik back as well, because he'll be quick as well.
Okay, let's get on to qualification. We are on board here with Muhammad Nakhib, and interestingly, fastest through Sector 1. As we follow him around the chicane, Nakhib needs a good weekend. Every weekend needs to be a good one.
Yeah, and you can see he's on the red wall tyre. That's the softer compound tyres. They're all going to use the softer compound tyres for qualifying. But in the race, I'm hearing that they can't make the red tyres work the whole 15 minutes. That they'll need a pit stop or the puncher. So I think they might have to use the prime tyres for qualifying for the actual race. But now comes down to Sector 2, and whoa, 3/10 down. 3/10 up. Oh, but someone else has gone quicker in Sector 2 as well. So it's, he's aborted the lap.
So Josh Purwin it was who went quickest, and then guess who went even quicker than that? Aleef Hamilton is the man currently in pole position.
Wow, Aleef Hamilton right there. Good to see Josh Purwin up there. He's had a really tough few rounds in this edition, this Season 3, so he's nice to see him up there. But now we're riding Miko Nassi. He did a 19.5 in practice. So, wow, they're in the 19.3s now. Can they even get into the 18s? That'd be pretty incredible. He's a 10th off in Sector 1, so he needs to find a bit more time in Sector 2 and 3 if he's going to challenge for pole.
We'll just stick with Miko just for a moment, because he's a very, very canny racer. He takes a nice line, the back end is good, and he gets a good drive out. No, he doesn't like that one at all. You could see his reaction. How about Philippines' Luis Moreno? Similar position on the track. 3/10 down. He's not going to be really challenging either. What about Nakiv? Back to Nakiv. He was very close in Sector 1. This could be interesting, Alex Young. It's Aleef Hamilton on pole at the moment, but Nakiv is racing well.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for the champion. He got that turn in just right, but he's 2/10 down in Sector 2. Wow, so he's not doing the lap. He's got to get a lap down. There needs to be a banker lap. He needs to make sure he's at least on the front 3 rows before he starts for another lap. Goes through the last corner. This could be enough for the front 2 rows. Let's see where this puts him. Puts him in 4th. So he's on the outside of the 2nd row.
4th for Muhammad Nakhib. Aleef Hamilton is the man who is on pole position. He restarts again. They're really trying to utilise everything. Is he about to start a flying lap here? He is fastest at the moment. Let's stick with Aleef Hamilton. Let's see what the cool dude from Singapore is able to do. The 2-time champion looks quick immediately round corner number 1.
Yeah, he is quick right now. But I want to just go to Miko Nassi for a while, because I want to see he's finishing his lap right now. Let's see where this puts him. Oh no, he's starting his lap. He's decided to restart again. So he didn't like it at the first. Let's go back to Aleef. He's also restarted his lap. Okay, let's follow Miko Nassi then. I think Miko Nassi, he has the pace to challenge for pole position. Let's see what he can do. Oh, did he get a good? No, he didn't like that. He's going to restart again. Everyone needs to have a good first lap
And they're running it close at the moment. Only 1:52 left.
Oh!
Nakhib is he's dropped out. He will have time to start again. Can I nip us through to Kalen Chin? Because Kalen Chin, he is quick through sector 1. He hasn't got a banker lap at the moment. He has got no time. So this must count for Kalen Chin. But he's half a second down at the end of sector 2, Alex Young. Kalen, he's having a mare as well.
Yeah, so Kalen Chin there. Whoa, so this is not going to look good for him. We should go back to see what Aleef is doing and Josh and all those guys, seeing if they can improve. These has to be the last. Whoa, Aleef, he's gone purple in sector 1, so he's gone even faster. Wow, look at that. That's really good for Aleef. Well, let's see what he is through sector 2. He's quicker again in sector 2. This is going to be a 19 flat, even possibly 18.9. Wow, so it's a good lap again. It's really throwing down the gauntlet. The championship leader is really throwing down the gauntlet, and it's going to be tough for anyone to beat him at the moment.
He is throwing that IndyCar around. He is fastest through sector 1, through sector 2. He's already got the fastest lap. Is he going to improve that time? The answer is yes, he is. He's still got fastest of 1:19.125. Josh Purwin joins him on the front row of the grid. Mikko Nassi leaving his finish very, very late. This is chance, but he was, what's he down? Oh, he's close, Alex. He is so close.
Wow.
Oh, but he's lost it there. He's going to have to be happy, I think, with only P2 at the moment. Nakiv is still out on the track as that result isn't confirmed. But Aleef and Mikko at the moment, 1 and 2 in the standings, 1 and 2 in qualification. Purwin and Nakhib on the second row. Mohammed Tasbih and Jason Tay make it Singapore 1, 2, 5 and 6. And I think qualification is now over. That is now a confirmed starting grid from qualification, Alex. So, guess who is the man to beat?
It's going to be really close indeed. I mean, it's kind of staggered by Aleef's lap. You know, let's not forget that they all have success ballots. So Nakhib and Aleef are the heaviest out of everyone, and Aleef's lap was super good. I'm super impressed with that lap. Wow, he's going to be hard to beat. I think only Mikko Nassi might be the only one that can compete with him today. But let's also not forget Purwin and Nakhib. Purwin's not carrying any success ballast, and he'll be a real challenger today.
There is the map circuit that we have got. The drivers are all out on the grid at the moment. There's a second race to follow, a reverse grid race. The hairpin at the extreme right is very interesting in this. The drivers are all out there. Aleef Hamilton in the blue and yellow is the man who is on pole position. We will go on board with Mohammed Nakhib for the start of this race. Aleef to his immediate left is the man who is on pole, and Nakhib's off to a good start. Nassi a poor start. He holds up Nakhib, but Aleef gets away supremely well, and there's traffic behind Muhammad Aleef Hamilton. He's leaving the rest in his wake.
Wow, Mikko Nassi with a terrible start. Mikko's known for really good starts, and he's dropped back. And look at that, Aleef, perfect. He's gone, and he's doing a really good job with this. Everyone's on the prime tire. They're on the harder compound tire. No one's trying to make a 50-minute race work with the soft tire. But yeah, wow, Mikko Nassi, he's the real loser there. He went from 2nd to 5th.
In P2 at the moment, Josh Purwin was able to hold on. We're on board with Aleef Hamilton there. Got off just an absolutely wonderful start. He wasn't pushing it, but he got away just quicker than Purwin. That's all he needed to do. Nakhib, to his credit, managed to get up into P3 as Mohammed Tasbih barges through to take P3 from Nakhib. And Tasbih and Aleef Hamilton are related, so Aleef, I'm sure, will, in the corner of his eye, be saying, thanks, bro. Thanks, mate.
Yeah. So I think Nakhib was making a move on Tasbih, and then Tasbih took the move back. So good move there by Tasbih. But yeah, wow, look at that. Nakhib there getting sideways on the exit though. So he's really pushing at these early stages. But yeah, so all going Singapore's way at the well. Aleef really just running away at the front. Purwin, I was expecting Purwin to try and close the gap as well. Unable to close the gap at the moment though.
A little bit further down, if we are able just to nip around, Luis Moreno from the Philippines didn't have the best of starts, but he's got himself up into P6. Kalen Chin left his qualification very late. Kalen has eventually got himself into P7. We saw behind him Yevon David and Inigo Anton and Jason Tay. These are very, very good racers, as we're on board with Kalen here. But he's a chunk of the way back, Alex, and we know he's good enough to be up the very front. What's going wrong with Kalen?
Well, he had a dreadful qualifying though, didn't he? He put himself under pressure by not putting a lap down early enough, so he was under big pressure to do it towards the end and just wasn't able to do it in the end. But back to that battle between Nakhib and Tasbi. Look how close that is. Whoa, side by side. Miko Nasi also looking there as well. Whoa, coming out of that corner there, this flat out corner, it's just a small lift. It's going to be really, oh no.
Contact for Nasi. That was a terminal for him in the last race. It looks like he's got away with there. Just edging into the back there of Mohammed Nakhib. Tasbi is the man in front of them. As these three are dueling though, it means that Muhammad Aleef Hamilton is able to scoot away scot-free. Only Josh Purwin is able to stay even remotely close. And within 2 laps, Alex Young, the lead is nearly 2 seconds for Aleef Hamilton. How do you stop this man?
Yeah, wow, really, really good job. He's using his push to pass, so he's going to try and set the fastest lap of the race as well now, which will increase his points. So he's totally calm, in the zone, doing a really good job.
Aleef Hamilton always totally calm behind them. That's a really good battle for P3. Nasi just watches on as Nakhib tries to get on the inside of Mohammed Tasbi. Then Nasi tries to get on the inside of Nakhib. There was a moment where they might have been going 3 abreast there, but Nasi always looks so cool. But all you can do, Alex, is just focus on the driver in front of you, who happens to be Mohammed Nakhib. And Nakhib is just focused on the driver in front of him. He's not worried about Nasi.
Yeah, no, the Tasbi there is in 3rd position, holding off these 2 drivers. At the moment, it looks like Nakhib and Miko Nasi are faster, but yeah, if it's one thing to be faster, you got to try and make the move as well. So and he's holding up. Luis Moreno also there in 6th position. Oh, there goes Nakhib. He's off. I think maybe too much argy-bargy has broken that car. And yeah, that's him out of the race. Oh, wow. Shame for Nakhib, the guy that was 3rd in the championship. Looks like he's really struggling now. Wow, that's him. He's going to the pits, obviously going to try and repair that car.
But that will be no points, because in a 15-minute sprint where you've already accumulated 4 minutes, and just look at his expression. Oh, swear words deleted, young fella. But if you put a bubble up above his head, it would not be nice reading. Aleef Hamilton, well, in the meantime, as we look at the reaction of Nakhib, is just able to, well, not get away from Josh, but it is 2 seconds clear.
Well, Josh is bringing it down a bit, just under 2 seconds. It's quite interesting watching Aleef through the hairpin. He was using the rear brakes to really turn that car around. A bit of rear-wheel steering, and it really worked out well for him, I think. That's showing his experience, though. Aleef is very experienced in RaceRoom. One of the, if not the best sim racer in Asia Pacific, certainly in Southeast Asia, and he's just showing, you know, why he's at the top. He's still very young, only 22. Yeah, just doing everything perfectly at the moment.
Would like to see how we can compete on a worldwide scheme. We may well talk about that at another time. Miko Nasi, meantime, is the Finn based out of Singapore. He won race 2 last time out. He's 2nd in the championship standings. He'll want to get a podium in race 1 and then try to capitalise in race 2. But firstly, he's got the little matter of Mohammed Tasbi in front of him, Alex. And Tasbi is not letting up. The difference between them is a 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, and Tasbi, he's found some pace now because he's going a lot quicker. His last lap at 22.1. Oh, okay, he wasn't as quick as he could have been, but yeah, he's driving well.
Let's have a look at Mohammed Nakhib. He made that pit stop. He's back out, but he's in 20th position now. He's way out of the points. He's 17 seconds down on Sun Idu and Ayman Akim Tadashi. So he has got a vast amount of work to do, even to pick up a single point from this race, Mohammed Nakhib. We said he can't afford any more errors, and I'm afraid he's made one.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard for him to get back from that. Maybe he'll just go for fastest lap of the race and grab the 2 points there. But Aleef right now looking good at the front. Wow, 2.9 seconds down from Josh. He's actually able to extend his gap at the moment, so good job. No one's got an answer for him at the moment. Coming down to the busy end of the season, He's just able to produce the results, and wow, really, really good job. I really didn't expect him to pull away from Josh. I thought Josh should be able to go with him, but no, Aleef is just too quick for anyone at the moment.
He's on to lap 6, and he's got a 3-second lead over the rather snazzily attired Josh Purwin, the young Australian. Hasn't had the best of seasons, Josh. I think we were expecting a lot more of him. He was consistently second place through seasons 1 or 2, but hasn't shown that same form here. Here, though, he's got himself back up into a chance of a podium in round 4. Mohammed Tasbi is 5 seconds adrift as the camera decides to show us the cherry picker. But there's the lead for Hamilton. He's down the next straight as Tasbi and Nassi make their way into the hairpin corner number 6.
So Miko was getting back closer again to Tasbi. Tasbi looked like he was defending so much. Looked like he was holding up the cars. Seemed to have picked up a bit more pace again. But now it looks like Nassi seemed to have sorted himself out as well. And he's now all over the back of Tasbi. 7 minutes to go. You got a feeling that this battle's going to go all the way to the line.
Well, Miko Nassi will certainly be the man who'll take it to him. Miko does like a scrap, but he has already picked up some contact here when Nakhib went out. Nakiv, incidentally, has got himself up into P18. How about Luis Moreno, currently in P5, Moreno? A bit of space between Nassi and Moreno, but Moreno's got Kalen Chin right on his tail. Sorry, there is Moreno, as Moreno looks focused. Filipino champion in season number 1 of eRacing GP. He's consistently picked up points. 5th in the championship overall so far. 3 5th place finishes in 4 races so far. So Luis Moreno, ultra consistent, Alex.
Yeah, ultra consistent. You know, he's the man that he's been around sim racing for a long time. Very well known in the Philippines. Quick across all platforms. You know, he's really, really good on all the different sort of simulator platforms. But yes, he's position 5. I know he won't be happy with that. He's just lacking a little bit of pace to try and get into the top 3 at the moment.
You can't mention Luis Moreno without mentioning Inigo Anton. He's the Filipino twin. Inigo currently in P7 at the moment. He's got Jason Tay for company. Inigo in the yellow and white and loses a place as he's just picked off around those corners. Looked like he lost a little bit of pace going into those turns, Alex.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange there. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, so he's lost that position, but still plenty of time to come back. More importantly, the car looks like it's under him. Always a worry with these IndyCars is if you damage them, like Nakhib did earlier, then that's it. You can't come back from that damage.
Just working out, Nakhib, you mentioned him. He's got himself up into P16. He's had a pit stop. It's Muhammad Aleef who he's just gone past. He's got Son Idu ahead of him. Son Idu from Australia. The second, actually there's 4 Aussies out there today. Nakhib still looks like he's struggling with the handling there though, Alex, or is that just me interpreting something incorrectly?
Well, so he would have had to pit to repair the damage in the car, so he would have lost time for that. I don't think he changed tyres because then the pit stop would have taken even longer. So if he's on the same tyres as everyone, then maybe he's just starting to struggle with tyre wear. Tyre wear will be an issue. But let's have a look back at Miko Nassi, though. He's all over the back of Tasbi again. Tasbi defending well into that corner. Miko Nassi nowhere to go as they come out of turn 10. Now we're in the third sector of the lap where you can't overtake. He's got to bide his time, and he's really got to do it in sector 1 or sector 2.
Round Sachs in 12, and then they'll go to 13 and 14. It's not quite to chicane, but not far off being 1. Then the sharp right-hand corner, 15, and then onto the sud curve, 16, before you then get the opportunity of the long straight up until corner number 1, the nord curve. So this, if he has got the slipstream, Alex, is a possible, but that's really well done by Tasbi.
Yeah.
Took the line superbly.
Yeah, he was great through turn 1. He couldn't have got it any better. So Miko just lost out a little bit, but this is the all-important corner. What sort of drive do you get out of it? If Miko Nassi's got the drive, he'll be in the slipstream. Looks like he's got the slipstream. Also, who's got enough push to pass at the moment? Tasbi looking back. He's checking out the rear mirror. He's looking at Miko Nassi. He's looking behind. Miko Nassi goes to the outside. Ooh, Tasbi just moves back. Did he leave him a car's width? That's a good question. And for now, he survives in P3.
Tasby in the blue. We're on board here with Miko Nassi. Tasby is the driver on the right-hand side. Looked very, very calm there as Miko Nassi made a real move.
Yeah,
Aleef Hamilton, we just mentioned, let's go on to Aleef just to see him serenely on his way. He's 3 seconds clear of Josh Perwin. Josh has just about got the yellow and blue car in their sights, but with 3 minutes to go, the real battle is for the podium position, P3. At the moment, Tasby holding on over Miko Nassi, and that is not good for Nassi's hopes of an outside hope of the title.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Aleef is really going to be in pole position. I know there's one more race to go, but he's really dominated this race, and his championship rivals have really struggled. So it's really going to look good for his championship now.
Again, this is still the battle for P3. Tasby is the man who is holding on. Briefly, we'll just drop down. Moreno currently in P5. Jason Tay is the man chasing him in P6 in the blue and white. There is Jason Tay. We were on board Jason with a flying lap earlier on. There he is in the dark. I think he might be relatively happy to be able to hold off Kalen Chin and try to get himself a place in the top 6, Alex, for Jason.
Yeah, Jason always loves driving in the dark. It's quite interesting. Every time we go to him, I see him in a dark room, as he is in the blue and white livery Paget car. But yeah, we've seen him have some really good performances in the past, pole positions, race wins. But since we've come to IndyCars, he's not been as strong as he normally is. Maybe the style is not quite as suited to him as some of the other cars have raced. He's been very quick in a DTM before. But yeah, he won't be so happy with this. He wants to be in the top 3.
Okay, let's go down to Muhammad Nakhib, who is battling now to get into the top 15, at least the consolation of a point. He is a quality driver, obviously we know that, but he's been beset by problems this year. This is his battle just to try to get ahead of son Idu, but the Australian not making life easy for the Malaysian.
No, it's one thing to catch, it's another thing to overtake. There'll be one more lap after this lap, so if he wants to get in the points, he's got to do it in the next lap. He can't overtake in the third sector. It's all about sectors 1 and 2.
And the man in front of them is a young fella called Alistair Young, who is currently in the points. He will be picking up 2 points if it remains as it does. We're on to the final lap. We need to focus on our Muhammad Aleef Hamilton. 35 seconds to go, but he is on. This is a victory lap, or is it? Is he going to have to be through the finish line and one more complete lap? It's possible, isn't it?
Well, it's going to be close, isn't it?
It is. Slow down, Aleef.
Looks like there are a few cars out there sporting some damage, so I know there are a few of them will be quite happy for the race to end as it is. But Aleef now going through the last 2 corners. I think there might be one more lap after this, actually. 7, 6. Yeah, he's going to get across the line before the end.
Unless he slows down. He tries to slow down, but there's one more lap to go.
Yeah, one more lap to go. Aleef Hamilton way out in front, unchallenged by anyone else.
Well, Josh Perwin is the man in P2 who got into within a few seconds. Mohammed Tasby is still in P3, but Tasby and Nassi, well, tell you what, Alex, Tasby's managed to pull a 1.5 seconds up on Miko Nassi. So Nassi, who was battling, has maybe just decided to pull off and allow Tasby a podium position.
Yeah, Tasby did a really good job of defending. Really had to work hard for this position. Nakiv tried to get past, Nassi tried to get past. Neither of them was able to do it, and looks like Tasby saved some tyre life as well, because he looks very comfortable now in P3.
Moving further down, Nakhib has got that little victory, that little moral victory. He's got himself up into P15. Alistair Young is the man in the Stratos car who's got to try and prevent him going through. Alistair having a moment.
That car's finished. He's damaged that car. He hit the curb, but it's been damaged for a while because he's been doing 29s or something for quite a while. So Alistair Young, that's it. He's I don't think he's going to even finish the lap. But Nakhib is just going to try and find his way through.
So it'll be 2 points as Nakhib moves into P14. Alistair will try to limp home, but the victory goes to Muhammad Aleef Hamilton. He is unstoppable. His 3rd victory of the season. Josh Perwin 2nd. Mohammed Tasby will come in 3rd. Miko Nassi allows Tasby into P3. Moreno for Philippines in P4. Jason Tay from Singapore in 5. but a cool, calm, collected little sip of water in between the races. Our Muhammad Aleef Hamilton increases his lead at the top of the championship standings. One more race to go, though, here at the Hockenheimring.
Well, yeah, he's almost got his... Okay, there's quite a bit of racing to go, so it's still too early to say, but it's been very good for his championship hopes. Aleef there, just really, really doing a good job, just showing why he's a championship leader. You know, some of the lines he was taking was quite clever. This corner here, this hairpin he's coming up for, you could really see the rear rotating very well on turn-in. And I've got a feeling he's running really a lot of brake balance to the rear for this corner. Because he's got a lot of success balance in that car. For him to win that easily, and he's happy with that, really showed that he was able to raise his level for this race. And it's going to be tough for... got a reverse grid race to come, but it's going to be tough for the others to compete.
There's the confirmation. Aleef picks up the win and the fastest lap. Josh Berwin, a very, very good second place for the Aussie. Tazbeh and Nassim in Singapore, 1, 3, 4 and 6. A terrific day at the races for the little red dot.
And that fastest lap. Did you see that fastest lap at 20.3? That was seriously quick. Wow, well done. Wow, Aleef just... Whew. But, reverse grid race now. Anything can happen. I believe it's the top 15 that are reversed. So we will see what happens next. Aleef just has to make sure... You know, he's got such a big championship lead now. He just needs to stay out of trouble. He doesn't want to get a DNF for this race. He just needs to pick his way cleanly. Don't take big risks at this point. And just see where he ends up.
This is the circuit that we're at the Hockenheimring in Germany. It has been mainly American circuits, but this is the joker in the pack that the orchestrator of this series, Alex Young, likes to put in. And now we are under starters' orders. Son Idu is the man on pole position. When the red lights go out, we will be underway. Son Idu alongside Alistair Young. Alistair spins. That allows Muhammad Nakiv in the second row of the grid to take first place. That is a storming start from the Malaysian. Son Idu, Jaden Lowe and Alistair Young complete the top 4. Alistair into P3 now, actually. But Muhammad Nakhib, I suppose if you're going to have a bad first race, make up for it, Alex, by getting off to a storming start in the second.
Wow, yeah, Aleef up to 13th position from what it was a 16th. So he's already made quite a few positions. And then we would see, Alistair Young braking way too late. Whoa, just about makes the corner. Wow, has contact. Well, we'll see. But anyway, Nakhib, he's out in front. Big gap here. It's going to be hard for anyone to reel him in.
There is Alistair. Oh, again, he's... that's not exactly what the market says. He's flying all over. He's got serious damage, Alistair. He looks like he's on the way out of this race from P2. He's down to P11. It means Jaden Lowe is the man leading behind Muhammad Nakhib. But Nakhib has flown into a 4-second lead. It's almost like all of his anger has been taken out on that start. And it's a blistering start from Nakhib.
Yeah, so, Miko Nasi in round 3, he had a terrible race 1, didn't he? Went on to win the reverse grid race. Same thing happening here for Nakhib. Nakhib's just gone. He's disappeared. Big lead at the moment. He's just going to go for fastest lap as well. But Miko Nasi up to 4th position. That's a really good first lap. He's probably had the most impressive first lap of anyone. Because he would have started, I think, 14th, 13th position. So he's made almost 10 places in one lap. What a great lap. That was it. Look, he's going to make another position now.
We'll just stick on board with Miko, but he is using the PTP, but he can't get through. Who's in front of him? That's Tadashi and Jaden Lowe, so he's on the tail of Jaden Lowe. Tadashi gives way. Jaden Lowe goes wide. Miko Nasi goes through temporarily into second, a little bit too wide. Oh, they were 3 abreast at one stage there. Nasi is the man who holds second place, but 6.5 seconds adrift of the race leader, Nakhib Aslam. But Nasi up to P2, Alex.
Yeah, wow. Lap and a half up to P2. Really good. Let's see if he can close down to Nakhib. Nakhib's 7 seconds in front. But one thing I know about Miko Nasi is he never gives up, so he's going to keep pushing for sure.
P8, Aleef Hamilton. That's not too shabby a lap either.
Yeah.
So, well, he just does everything right, and he hasn't got himself into any kind of conflict. He's got Caelan Chin ahead of him. He's got Jaden Lowe, who was in a little spat with Alistair Young earlier on. Jaden Lowe is behind him. Josh Perwin is also there. Josh, who was second place. He's in the chocolate-coloured car just behind the yellow and blue livery of Aleef Hamilton. Aleef, though, into P8. He couldn't work his way through the field again, could he, Alex? Surely not.
He'll definitely work his way through the field. But you said it just a couple seconds ago. He's doing everything right. This is exactly what he needed to do. If he had been P3 or 4 after a couple laps, I'd have said that was stupidity. Because that would have required a lot of serious risks. And he doesn't need to take these risks. You know, he doesn't need to do what Nasi's done. He needs to just make sure he gets through the field and finishes his race. Because he's got the pace. You know he's going to get up to maybe P4 or 5 at worst, maybe P3 even. That just, you know, really puts his one hand on the championship title. Whereas if he'd just gone crazy and had damage and then not finished the race, you know, he puts himself under pressure because it gives Nakhib and Nasi another chance to get back into the lead.
He's just got himself up into P7. Russell Reyes it was who generously let him through. In the meantime, Nakhib is the man who is in the race lead. We're on board with Nakhib there as Aleef is bottom right of your screen, but Nakhib's lead is nearly 7 seconds from Miko Nasi in P2. He's in the Stratos. Inigo Anton has got himself into P3. He'll be under pressure from Ayman Hakim in P4. But Inigo Anton, he's normally playing second fiddle to Luis Moreno. Today, it looks like Luis is playing second fiddle to Inigo Anton.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see Anton get a podium finish if possible. He hasn't had one for a while, but also Ayman Hakim. Ayman hasn't had a podium in a while as well. So I can see this battle going right to the end. Brodie Steen right behind the two Australians, really, Brodie Steen and Caelan Chin. And look at that, Caelan Chin letting Aleef Hamilton through, nice and easy. So Aleef now in front of Caelan Chin in P6.
So Caelan Chin looks back towards Josh Perwin and Russell Reyes, but you're quite right, there is Aleef. Got himself up into P6, and what's he lapping? He's lapping 1:21.6. That's not far off the fastest lap. Fastest lap is currently with Miko Nasi. Nasi in P2 at the moment, unable to really draw down that advantage that has been pulled in by Nakiv. But P2 for Miko. After a decent race number 1, he'll accumulate a few points.
Yeah, so, yeah, but... Yes.
But, yeah,
yes,
it's for runners-up, isn't it?
Yes, it's for runners-up. You know, I think Nasi's day was really hurt by his not by his qualifying. His qualifying was okay, but his start in race 1 really put him on the back foot, and he's been trying to recover from that. Yeah, I mean, P2 behind Nakiv would be quite a good job for the reverse grid race, especially considering where he started. But nah, he'll be annoyed with himself. You know, Nasi's a bit of a perfectionist too. He'll be annoyed that his start wasn't the way he wanted to in race 1.
Let's have a look at the battle for P3 that's raging just behind. Inigo Anton under pressure from Ayman Hakim Tadashi. Tadashi just trying to get into the slipstream. Takes the inside corner. Contact. But Tadashi barges Inigo Anton away. Tadashi moves into the top 3. Behind them, Muhammad Aleef Hamilton has got himself up into P5, and Inigo Anton needs to be careful because Hamilton is closing. Oh, who's that? Who's dropped off there? Nakhib. Nakhib has slipped away. Oh, Nakhib's day goes from bad to worse.
Wow, what's happened there, Nakhib? Whoa, so did he spin off by himself or did he break something? Looks like maybe something's broken in the car. A very strange place for him to go off. Wow, his day just, like you said, goes from bad to worse.
Mama, what have I done wrong today? I'll do the dishes tomorrow, Mama, promise!
Well, so no, it looks like the car's back on track now again, so let's have an outside view and see if that car's crabbing or not. Doesn't look like he's crabbing, so he must have just spun by himself.
Well, he was leading. Now it means Miko Nasi has got himself a healthy lead. We're approaching the halfway stage of this race. Alex puts together the highlights for this. There's a few highlights you've got to put into this race already, Alex, but Miko Nasi will hope it's a nice, serene highlight of him crossing the finishing line first at the end of it. At the moment, his lead is 2.6 seconds. You've got to remember, Nakhib's lead, Alex, was over 6.5 seconds.
Yeah, Nakib's just thrown it away, hasn't it? But that in effect really makes this a 2-horse battle for the championship. Aleef is going to pull out a big championship lead now. And really, I think only Nasi, realistically, will be within touching distance over the last 2 rounds. Because Nakib's, he's not going to score many points today. And he's already had one bad round. So he can't throw away today's round. So, Nasi, still 6.5 minutes to go. Nasi still has to bring it home, of course.
You mentioned Aleef Hamilton. He's up into P3. He's just steamed past Inigo Anton. Poor old Inigo. Almost like he doesn't matter on the racetrack to Aleef Hamilton. And Ayman Akin Tadashi is the man who has got those steely-eyed sights. It's focus, it's concentration. It's very cool, but it's ice-cold calculations going on that screen, bottom right of your corner.
Oh, and look at that exit. Aleef just got a great exits out of turn 2 and 3. You could see Akeem was struggling with traction. And he's right there. Is he going down the inside? Oh, yeah, he looks about it. But Ayman breaks super late as well. Who's going to get the better traction? And Ayman, for now, survives for another lap.
Well, for another lap it is. That's good news for Miko Nasi. We'll just break away from Aleef just for a while. Miko Nasi has been able to establish a 2.5 second lead, but let's not forget Muhammad Nakhib had a 6.5 second lead earlier, and he made a mistake. Nakhib currently in P5. Still looks like he's struggling with the handling there, though, Alex, doesn't it? It's not as secure as it might be.
Yeah, and I know he's been practicing very hard on RaceRoom, so he'll be bitterly disappointed with today. Just hasn't gone his way. Didn't quite put it together in qualifying. Obviously had too much contact in race 1, and now race 2, spinning out of the lead. Really, really a day to forget.
We'll just move away from those top 5 because there's a little Australian championship of its own right going on. You've got Josh Purwin in the chocolate. Behind him, the all green of Brodie Steen, the racing green of Brodie Steen, followed by the Stratos lime green of Caelan Chin. I keep giving you that wrong shot. There is Caelan Chin in P6. So the Battle of Australia taking place in Germany on an Asia global edition that's meant to be about the Americas. Who says this isn't international? Aleef Hamilton, Alex, got himself up into P2, or did he? Just able to hold off was Tadashi.
He has to be very careful here. Tadashi wants that podium position. The worst thing by far Aleef could do. Oh, he goes down the inside. Oh, he doesn't want to have contact like that. Oh, wow. I mean, Aleef, okay, he makes the move. Well done. But he really didn't want contact. We've seen how fragile these cars are. He can easily pick up a puncher. But yes, he's made it through. The car seems fine. P2, for Aleef. Good job.
Fantastic job. Remembering he's starting down in P15. Miko Nasi, well, he had a wonderful first lap. That's what's given him the opportunity to be in the lead. But Muhammad Nakhib, having had a very, very healthy lead, is still in P5. But Josh Purwin has been able to close right up. There is Purwin in the chocolate. And Purwin had a 20-point race number 1. He'd love to get another few points here just to prove to us that he is no one-season wonder of eRacing.
Yeah, Purwin's been very quiet. Oh, Nakhib spins off again. That's it. His race is done. Yeah, you might as well put it away, mate. It's been one of those days. Yeah, I feel for him. Very talented driver, but he'll be back stronger. But yeah, that's him done. So I was just talking about Josh. Josh has been another driver with a very, very quiet day. Down in P5. Didn't quite get his way through the traffic as some of the other drivers. But yeah. So anyway.
That's a great reaction that from Nakiv.
Yeah.
Terrific on board. Thank you for the drivers for allowing us to take those shots of them. Yeah, we want to do you a favour and you want to be cheering, but when the expletives are being deleted, that is when you really have to bite your tongue. In the meantime, Miko Nasi, 2.5 minutes to go. Aleef Hamilton is a miracle worker, but surely won't be able to work a miracle victory out of this, Alex Young.
Yeah, wow, never say never. It's Aleef, isn't it? Okay, he's far behind, isn't he? He's 2.7 seconds. Yeah, 2 minutes to go. You're up against Mikko Nassi as well. Mikko Nassi's not going to make a mistake here. You know, Mikko Nassi is an incredibly good sim driver. So that's not going to happen. But still, Aleef will be super happy. First position and second position are the 2 races today. Yeah, that's going to look really good for the championship.
What is the difference? He's got to within 2 seconds. There's 2 minutes to go as they go onto the hairpin. Nassi leads, and Nassi's got a back marker to deal with in just a few seconds' time. There he is. The back marker's just going around turn number 7, which is a very fast part of the track. Camera tracks us through the advertising hoardings. There is Mikko Nassi. Needs to be cool, needs to be collected, needs to be calm.
He's coming up to lap someone. I think that's Muhammad Aleef. He's obviously had an eventful day because he's way off the back. Must have had to deal with some, maybe, I don't know, damage or something. Oh, no, that's Muhammad Aleef. So I wonder who's that Mikko Nassi's coming up to lap.
We'll find out in just a moment. Who are we on board with there? That's on Aleef, isn't it? So Aleef is struggling. Let's just stick with him. We do like to take you around the drivers. They have all made their contribution to eRacing GP. It isn't just about the top 6, but inevitably we have to focus on the top drivers, and Mikko Nassi is the man who is leading this race. But Aleef Hamilton has closed within a second. Alex Young, he's closed within a second.
Wow, this is the last lap. Is this the last lap of the race? I think it's the last lap of the race. Wow. Well, we can never discount Aleef Hamilton, can we?
Remember how tight it was, though, when they went over the finish line? They went into a 12th, so this is corner number 6. Yeah, this will be the last lap of the race, and Nassi is now feeling the heat. He is now under pressure from Aleef Hamilton. If Aleef pulls a victory out of this, it will be incredible.
Yeah, well, we saw Mikko looks calm, but he was wiping his brow just now, so he is still working really hard. I'm sure when we speak to him after, he'll say he had it all under control, but wow, he'll see. Wow, Aleef is catching up quite closely. Couple more corners to go, and the win should be his. You can't overtake in the stadium section, so even though Aleef is pushing, like we said, he'll never give up, will he?
He'll never give up, but it is going to be Mikko Nassi who just takes a little bit of a moral victory, but he'll be frustrated that Muhammad Aleef Hamilton is the man who came up to finish second place. What a day for Aleef. We keep on saying that. Mikko Nassi gets the victory, but Aleef Hamilton will take the headlines in round 4 of eRacing GP. But thumbs up to Mikko Nassi, but double thumbs up to Muhammad Aleef Hamilton. Second place. Tadashi third. Josh Perwin wins the Battle of Australia for 4th, getting ahead of Inigo Anton, who came in 5th. Brody Steen, Kalen Chin, Jason Tay, Russell Reyes, Nurse Shazlizan and Luis Mourinho completing the point scorers. But this is Nassi's race. This is Aleef's day.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. So the championship now looks really interesting. We'll try and get him on the Zoom calls now. Hopefully they're in and listening. We should talk to Aleef first, shouldn't we?
Let's get confirmation of the results first, though, Alex. But just before we confirm, you never know.
Yes.
The AI might have done something that we don't anticipate. Didn't seem to be anything awry. I'd love to know what happened to Nakhib Aslan, though, because he had such a comfortable lead. And then suddenly, as we were focused on something going further down, he was back in 5th place.
Yeah, such a surprise that. Mikko, I think, is also, there's the confirmation of the results. We'll get, actually, do you want to do the interview, mate?
Certainly will. Look who gets fastest lap.
Fastest lap. Whoa, Muhammad Aleef, that must have happened on the last lap or something. Wow, when you consider all the tyre wear as well, what a great lap. Oh, just can't keep that man down, can we?
It was a 13-point championship lead coming into this round, and Aleef Hamilton, despite Mikko Nassi picking up the victory in that race too, will extend that. Have we got Mikko on the line?
I think we got Aleef first, and then we'll get Mikko on.
Okay, Aleef, are you on the line? It's Des from eRacing.
Yep, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Hey, brilliant race. Number 1, you dominated. In number 2, though, you had to come from 15th to come within a second. Are you proud of that effort in the second race?
definitely. I mean, I was just trying to bide my time, just trying to analyze what the guys in front of me were doing. And I mean, I saw Miko's pace. It wasn't unreachable, so I was like, yeah, why not go for it? Try the fastest lap. So I don't know if I got the fastest lap on race 2, but yeah, it was super tricky. Oh, I did.
Yeah, you got the bonus points. It was the Aleef day, even though Miko picked up the victory. Did you ever feel you could get close enough to maybe make a maneuver on him to take that second race victory?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was battling against Tadashi, Ayman Hakim, and I kind of went a bit conservative because I was seeing him battling against Lewis, and I saw a lot of Ajibaji, so I just stepped back a bit. So that might have cost me the win, but other than that, I think Miko still drove a very, very good race. He didn't do any mistakes up until the last lap, and yeah, good win for him. I'm proud, definitely satisfied for the P2 as well.
Well, I mean, you had success ballast as well. I mean, you were seriously quick today. Can you put it down to anything? Were you doing anything different? You must be doing something different on the track because I noticed you're getting some pretty good rotation at the hairpin as well. Different world today.
Yeah, I mean, I just found this very sweet spot in terms of driving style. So you can say for my playing my brakes, my gears and everything, and just trying to stay on the throttle to keep the car moving forward in terms of momentum. And I think that's what gave me the pace advantage. And yeah, other than that, I was just trying to just hammer it out because I knew, I mean, we had a 1 week break. Yeah. So I was just trying to just pump out lap time, just try to work hard to eke out some gap against these very fast guys like Miko and Nakiv.
Wow, well done. Congratulations. Championship leader, Muhammad Aleef.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Thanks, Aleef. And I think we've got Miko on the line as well. Miko, if whatever you do, Aleef seems to be able to top it. So you pick up a victory in race number 2, and the first person you see in your rearview mirror is Aleef Hamilton.
Yeah, I was actually super happy with the result, considering I only started really practicing 3 hours before. So I think the main thing I could have fixed was the race 1 start. That was pretty shocking.
Yeah, we were on board you for race number 1. Race number 2, though, you came out super quick. It was almost like there was a lot of pent-up aggression and pent-up energy going into your start for race number 2.
Yeah, well, I think actually the main thing that helps is the left side. It has a lot more grip on the standing starts. So luckily I managed to get, 3 or 4 places before turn 1. It was good.
What happened with the race 1 start? You're normally so good at these starts. Was it just the dirty side of the track, or?
Yeah, it was just wheel spin, dirty side of the track, and then I start in second. So if I have to come out of it, then I'm stuck in second, going slowly. So
I see.
One of the risks.
Okay, so now you're second place in the championship. I think Aleef extends his gap over you, considering you have to drop points and stuff. How are you feeling for the rest of the year? You still think you can overhaul him?
Oh, I'd have to practice a lot more than I did today to have any chances. He's quick. He's super quick.
Yeah, he was. Fair enough.
Nonetheless, a successful weekend for Miko Nasi. Congratulations on race number 2, and we'll sort out the overall championship points a little bit later on, and obviously post that to the drivers. But well done, Miko.
Yep.
So, Alex, it's the Aleef show once again.
Yeah.
It really was remarkable. I thought we might have had a little bit of sanity prevailing in race number 2, but he just meanders his way through, doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah.
But then he did have that contact with Tadashi. You raised an eyebrow, which is a remarkable achievement for Aleef to make that happen. But he gets himself P2.
Yeah, I mean, it's all going his way. It's a bit like some of the races we watched earlier where we saw leaders shoot themselves in the foot. And Aleef made the right decisions. You know, he didn't take the risk coming through the field, didn't have to. And it worked out super well for him. He had to make his decision, though, to go through Tadashi. And it turned out okay. And those are the kind of decisions drivers kind of live and die by. And it worked well for him. And it was the right decision because he almost ended up winning that race. He only finished a second behind Miko Nasi, so it's truly impressive.
Quite remarkable. A note for poor old Nakhib Aslan. He was level on points at the end of season 2. It's not going to happen this time round. He's had another very, very bad day at the office because he was leading by over 6.5 seconds in race 2.
Yeah, we have to remember that I think out of the big 3 in the championship, Nakhib is the most experienced by quite a bit. So you can see that sometimes and the speed is definitely there, and he just needs to learn from these moments, and he'll come back stronger for sure.
Okay, so in the overall championship standings, Muhammad Aleef Hamilton from Singapore extends his lead to 46 points out of 49 weekend. You can do better than 46, but not much better. And Miko Nasi will be second. You are watching eRacing GP. It's the brainchild of Alex Young. I'm Des Corkill. We'll catch you next week for the penultimate round of the season.